Hey, we're Angus and Julia Stone.
And you're watching Rolling Stone. I suppose for Angus and I, the decision to make a new album, it's not any one thing or one moment. It's like a accumulation of moments that we connect and sort of share music, and then it sort of starts to gather momentum. And I think the kind of beginning of talking about Cape Forestier was off the back of a tour we did with Ben Harper, and we started just sharing music, and it felt like I guess that was the beginning of starting to make this record.
For me, it's always Julia's songs that she writes, because they're obviously stunning, and she writes with an open heart. And there was one song in particular that was special in the way that we wanted to include the people that have supported us through listening to our music along our journey, in asking them to share videos that they'd filmed from their weddings from around the world, because we were putting a music video together for the song called The Wedding Song. And it was really, really stunning looking at all the moments of love, and from different corners of the earth and different budgets, from backyard weddings to big Bollywood, extravaganzas. And it was just a nice way to connect with the fans and make it that, bring it back to the sort of back to the lounge room with us, hanging out, sharing what we do with our fans.
Do you know how lovely you are in the starlight, in the starlight of my heart? Do you know how lovely you are?
I guess, in terms of like our personal music world, it's changed in the sense of like, I think when we were starting out, we were really finding our voices, and so there was a lot of discovery and a lot of exploration, and that has evolved so much over the years of making records. We've worked with so many different people, and I think, like I listen back to Chocolates and Cigarettes or a book like this, and I can really hear in my voice in particular a sort of sense of searching for who I am, and I can hear it in sometimes the way I phrase things. I can hear kind of like I'm trying to imitate an artist that I really like, and not quite fully comfortable with who I am. And I think our evolution has been that, and it's probably just growing up, is like feeling like it's okay to just be myself. And I can hear now my voice is starting to settle into this place, and musically as well, where it feels much more free. But yeah, I guess in a more broader sense, the music industry has changed. But I think for us, our experience of that is mostly it's the same. We make records, we go and play shows. As long as we have enough money to kind of survive and do our thing, and we get to play shows, we're really grateful, and luckily we feel really lucky and fortunate that it's we've still been able to tour enough to maintain that. So yeah, I mean, we were talking the other day about how social media and streaming, it's such an incredible thing, because in Australia, it's a really big country geographically, and for a lot, like we grew up in quite a small town, but we're still close to the city. For some kids growing up, it was like if you liked a certain type of music, you had no way of communicating with other people that liked this music if you were in a rural or a desert town. And now it's like this way of, we can all find our family in our community, and so that's what we've also seen. We've we went and played a show in Egypt, you know, and kids in Egypt that are coming to the show and feel like connected to the music, and that's all because of streaming and social media. So yeah, we feel lucky for that connection and connectivity.
Yeah, it's cool. I think songs, they take on different lives and stories. For me personally, a song will change. Each tour, it'll mean something different because you're not always attached to the origin of what the things you were going through at that time to now, which is really cool. It's the same trajectory in the way of its path. It's sort of, you let it go into the world, and it's so cool where it can go and take you again, and seeing that reprise again from that song. It's great. It's opened up all these different windows into the house. A friend talks about it when he has one of those songs that has opened up his career to all these different fans, and he explains it like it's a doorway into the house where you can see all the gallery of your collection of thoughts and different songs, and there's so much more to discover of an artist through that one song. You might not necessarily love the fact that it's always that song, but it's cool. It's, you know, I think that's when you can make anew of it and keep rediscovering yourself within that.
I'm gonna take the phone ride on a PJ plane. I'm gonna take the phone ride on a PJ plane.
I don't think you can, I mean, I'm sure you can. I'm sure there are people that their whole job is strategically planning how to do this, but you know, moments like that for us have always been very random and have had nothing to do with anything we've done. And I think that's always worked for us. It's like the less we push, the better things work out. And I don't know, maybe that's been something, we work really hard at making music. Like, we love writing, we love recording. We really, we're not lazy, we're hard workers, but I think for social media, for us, it's been just better just to I think there's so many people who kind of do that, you know, for us in a way. If they like the music and they attach it to a video, and that video is something that is, you know, connecting people, that's better than if we try to make something. At least for now, you know, we're not, that's not sort of on our agenda, but it's certainly exciting when it happens.
Yeah, I guess the whole concept behind this next tour, this next world tour, is bringing people into our living room and what it's like to sit down with us and write a song or share something new in conversation, talking about how we write and what the song means to us and how it's changed along the years of travel. And I think that's we want to sort of make it a really intimate night out.
I think, you know, a mix of both is good. Being in, you know, at Angus's studio for this record is so nice. You know, it's like you go between, you know, watching a movie and then going into the studio and writing songs, and there's something really comforting about that experience. It's quite, containing, and touring is a different thing. It's like, you know, you really, every night something new is happening, and it can be quite exposing, you know, to go through these songs live. And like Angus said, every time you play a song, even if you played it 1,000 times, it's something new that reflects what you're experiencing at the moment. Sometimes there are days touring that you don't want to go to those places, and it's challenging, but this is part of like the fun of touring as well, is you sort of push through and you go into those places and you survive, and you know, and then it's like, okay, I did it, and it's okay, you know. And for us, having that contact with the fans is really special, and we only get to do that when we tour. You know, it's hard to connect over, you know, you don't see someone's face when they write a comment on social media, but when you meet a fan and they tell you their story, it's really beautiful, and it's so an honor to be a part of the soundtrack of people's lives.
Well, we'll start with the worst. No, it's I think what you with a sibling, whether it's your brother or your sister, your mother or your dad, it's something that you can't find with a friend, in a way of you can lean on the side of trust and knowing that you can try in the studio. And sometimes when I've been writing with other people, you not that you filter out too much, but it's something subtle changes when you're in the process of creating. And when Julia and I are together, it's very free, and it's a cool thing. It's something that I feel like is probably what's gotten us through all the years, and being able to share so much cool stuff and travel the world. I knew you were gonna ask that. Yeah, when you order a meal, Julia's really good at ordering a better meal. So you'll be sitting there and you'll be looking at her meal and you'll be like, oh, I wish I ordered that. And then when she turns away, you steal stuff off a plate.
Yeah, there's no respect with food.
No respect with food.
You know, we all live in different places now. We all grew up in this one like small town, and now everybody is everywhere. You know, Mum and Dad, they separated when we were younger, and yeah, Mum lives down in Tasmania, Dad lives up in Lennox Head. We get together at Christmas, and Mum and Dad are still mates, so they get together. You know, sometimes everybody's together at Christmas. There are times where there is like an energy of people making music, and I don't know, it's an odd thing. It's like I guess because we don't spend that much time with them. When we do, we're mostly just hanging out and talking, and but yeah, I think music is always there. It's like playing, but yeah, I was just thinking then, our sister had a birthday party recently, and our dad is a wedding party singer, and he was the band for the party, and that's always fun because like we get up and sing with his band at whenever they play, and we're there. So yeah, we kind of find times to do it.
I think there's a certain element of, if you are feeling like a bit lost in it all, is to go with that feeling. I think once you start fighting or resisting the fact that nothing's happening, is when you'll become frustrated and things won't flow. I think letting go is the most important thing in those situations. To take a break, you know, go for a walk in the park, go for a swim. I think the whole creative world is based on that feeling of wanting to be free and express yourself. And if it's not natural, perhaps just don't worry about it. It will happen when it needs to happen, and that's when the best stuff occurs.
We've never had a joint birthday party, but they are close together, and so we've had a lot of double birthdays where we've been, when we were living in LA, we definitely had a dinner party for me and then a dinner party for Angus. But yeah, this 3 days we're going to be in Zermatt, playing Zermatt Unplugged, and we're going to this restaurant that we really like for a lunch.
It's a little chalet that sits up in the mountain.
Chez Veroni.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
So we're also going to go, I ski and Angus snowboards, so we're going to go and spend the day in the mountains skiing and snowboarding. And then the restaurant is like you ski into it. It's actually dangerous because you got to slow down to get into the restaurant. So we're just hoping, actually, for my birthday wish is that I don't fall over and break my wrist before the tour.